So I'm going to take a look at the Rain Song by Led Zeppelin. Now it is tuned slightly differently. It's sort of a D, a C and G notes on the guitar, but it's not that bad. If you've got a little tuner like mine now, you can just tune it up with this. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put down on the screen the actual notes of the guitar so you can tune it up that way. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to play each string so you can tune up to the guitar, and then let's get into the lesson. So the tuning on this now is D, G, C, G, C and D. So we take the E note and turn it into a D note. We take the A and make it a G. We take the D and now we turn it into a C. We take the G and we leave it as it is. So your G just stays as a G, and your B comes to a C, and your E comes to a D. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to call the notes as in standard tuning, because otherwise this is going to be way too complicated, you know. So you start here on the 7th of the D and the B string, fretting them two there, and you just strum up and you come up to the A note. You don't play your E, and then you move down one fret. Now you move down another fret, but now I'm adding in here this 4th here on the G string. So you've got this, and then you get this, and for that there, I'm taking my finger off the B string, off the 5th of the B, I'm adding it in here to the 3rd of the B, taking it down one fret to the 2nd of the B, and then I'm fretting across the 3rd fret with this finger and playing 4 strings down. So you've got this. And then we come to this part. And for that there, you're playing the A note twice, and then you're playing like an A chord, and then you're adding in here the 4th on the B. Then we come to this. Very cool. Okay, so for this part now, you're playing like we did at the opening, on the D and the G string on the 7th, but now you're playing that part and you start up here on the 11th. You take it down 2 frets, up to the 12th, to the 11th, and then you come here to the 4th, and then you do, and that there, you're playing the 3rd of the D and the 2nd on the B. So you've got this. And now we play through it again, but we play it slightly different. You've got this. And the end, you come back up here to the 9th. And what you're doing, you're adding in here the 8th on the A note, playing down there. And then we come to this. So now we come to this very cool part of the song. You've got this. And that there, it's like an F chord really. If you bring your F chord right up to your 12th position, sort of your lead on the D string, and come down there, but let the E note ring open, and then drop it down one fret. And if you take your A minor shape and slide that up here now, and starting here on the 10th of the D, the G, and then the 9th on the B, let the E ring open. So you've got this. So this next part's really beautiful, and you've got this. And for this here now, you're playing the 5th on the E string and the 5th on the D string, and you're coming down to the 4th on the D, and then you're adding in the 5th on the A. So you're playing a light little bass bit here on it. You've got this. So you've got, and then, and then back into that F shape up here from the 12th and down to the 11th. Then we play through this part twice. But the second time round, we come down here to an A and add in here the 4th on the G. So just for clarity, I'm going to go back a little bit, play through a bit, and then get up to where we are now. You've got this. So every now and again you'll notice on the recording he does arpeggiate the chord and he adds in this 12th note here. You've got this. And that there, you're keeping the same shape, but it's all on that B, on the 12th of the B, that note that they're adding. Well, Jimmy Page is adding. It's a really nice touch. So now we come to this part. We've just finished here with the A, and we've got our finger here on the 4th fret of the G string. And what you're doing now, you're doing a run up here on this D string, and you start here on the 3rd of the D. So you've got that, then you're adding in the 3rd of the D, and then you're adding the 4th of the D, and then you're adding in the 5th of the D. The other positions just don't change at all. It is literally that finger there, and it's your finger position where you're going to put this. So you, and I'm just picking it nice and slowly, and the last note, so that you know really find that that, and that's coming from the E to the B to the G. So now we come to this part, and this chord you might find quite difficult, and what it is, I'm barring across on the 4th fret here, and then I'm adding in the 5th on the E and the 5th here on the A. And then I'm taking the 5th of the E off, and because I'm fretting here, so you're playing like the 4th of the E now. And then I'm moving my fingers down 1 fret, but I'm actually moving the bar finger down 2 frets. So you've come from, and then you get this. So for this little riff now, you're playing the 5th on the A string, and you're strumming down from the A string down to the E. All the other strings are just open, and then you're playing the 2nd on the E string, and you're doing like a little trill, and then you come to the B and then to the G. And then you just do that A and adding in the 4th here on the G. And then we're back into the where we started. Okay, so the bit I'm going to look at now is when all the band's in and it's far more rocky, and what they're doing is playing like an A shape, but they're playing it here on the 7th, they come down here to the 5th, and they're also playing the strings all open, so you've got this, and then you've got this, playing through this part 4 times, and then they go back into the... So you've got the 5th here on the D, the G and the B, and the E open. You can add in this A note, and then you're playing it all open. You've come down to the 5th, and then it's all open. And then this part, you've got the 5th on the A, the 4th on the D, and then you come down 1 fret on the A, 2 frets on the D, so now you're getting the 2nd on the D, and then you're playing the 2nd on the A and the D open, and then you drop your finger down 1 string, so now you're playing the 2nd on the D and the A open, and then you come to an A chord, which I'm just flattening my finger across, because it's like an A power chord anyway. So you get this. And then you're back into the... So now I'm going to take a look at the outro, and it goes like this. So for this piece now, I'm starting off barring on the 7th, and I'm playing from the A down. I'm adding in here the 9th on the E, and you've got this. And I'm just taking the E string, you know, the 9th off there, so it goes down to the 7th. Then I'm dropping my bar finger down 2 frets, and I'm doing a similar thing again. And then again, but now you're playing between the 7th and the 5th on the E. And then I'm dropping my bar finger down 1 fret. But now, instead of going up 2 frets on the E string, you're just going through 1 fret there. So I'm playing from the 5th to the 4th. You've got this. And now you come down, and we've got that chord shape that we used earlier. So now you're barring on the 2nd fret, along the 2nd fret, and you're adding in here the 4th on the A and the 4th here on the E. So playing through that bit, you've got this. And then you start the run back up the guitar neck. So now we're going to run up the neck, and we've got that chord shape. So now for this, we start off where we left off. We move our bar finger up 2 frets, but we've brought these fingers now back down 1 fret. So we've come from here, we've moved up, and we're bringing them together again. So now you're barring on the 4th, and you're adding in the 5th here on the E and the A. Then you've got 1 fret, but now you've spaced your fingers out again, so there's a 2 gap. And then you go up 2 frets, but again you're bringing your fingers back together. Then you've got 1 fret, and you've got 2 spaces between your fingers. And then you come up here, and you're playing the 10th and 12th with the 2 fingers. So you've got this. So the shape doesn't change at all, it's just that bar finger that's moving either closer to the fingers or away from the fingers. So now we get this. So for this piece now, you're playing like your F shape here. You've got your 7th on the D, the 6th on the G, the 5th on the B, the E open, and you play each string down. You play them all. Then you come back to the B, you come back to the G, and then you play the B. And this hand doesn't move at all, so you've just got this. So for this very last bit of the song, it's fingerstyle. I'm going to give you the flavour of it. I'm going to show you where the notes are and have a play with it. I mean, it's just a beautiful bit of music anyway. So it starts off here. And that there, you're playing the 5th of the E and here the 7th on the G string. And I'm playing the D open, and you're hammering on and off here and playing around here with your little finger on the 7th. You've got this. And then I'm coming down and I'm 2nd on the E. And it's a pull off. And just messing with the other strings open. And then you come here and I'm playing the 3rd of the E, the 4th of the B and the 5th here on the G string and the D open still, and playing around on this 5th to the 3rd on the E. So you've come from here and for the very last bit, I'm playing the 4th here on the A string and the 4th on the B string, and then I'm moving them 2 fingers just down to the 2nd fret. So I've got this, and again I'm just picking the notes. And when I move down to this 2nd position, I am these bottom notes he is playing with more. And then it finishes off with an A chord.